Welcome back to We Be Kids again. We hope you're enjoying all the stories and all the activities that we post on our website. One of the key aims for We Be Kids is to make all of these resources free as a way for you and your family to boost your well-being. If this is your first time, then go over to webekids.net and you can check out all the offerings that we have there for you. Now today I am going to tell you a story that is about giving, and that is about kindness as well. And this story is from Indonesia and it is called Heart of Gold. Now off in Indonesia, there lived a prince, a very, very, very wealthy prince. He had all that he needed and more. All of his clothes were made of gold thread. He had rubies and gems. He had a palace filled with ornate objects. His gardens were filled with gold, and all of his lands were filled with fruits and vegetables and trees that he owned and that gave him all the abundance of what he needed. But this prince didn't keep all of these things to himself. Every day he would wake up and he would head out of his palace and he would take the clothes and the rubies and the gold and the fruits and the vegetables and he would share them all with all of the people across his lands. He would seek out the weak and the vulnerable and the poor, and he would give them an abundance of the things that they needed. And for this, the prince was known by all of the people as Heart of Gold. But off in the snowy mountains lived the Great Spirit, and the Great Spirit had heard of Heart of Gold. And the Great Spirit said, "It is easy for a rich man to be generous. I will set Heart of Gold a test and see if he truly is as kind as he makes out." So in the night, the Great Spirit emptied all of the riches from Heart of Gold's palace. And when Heart of Gold woke up, he was surrounded by nothing. And he looked around and he scratched his head and he wondered outside, but there in his palace grounds was the abundance of things he'd had before. And without thought, he picked up those things and he walked out of his palace across the lands, giving all of his riches to the people. Now the Spirit was impressed with this, but the Spirit wanted to know if Heart of Gold truly did have a heart of gold. So it decided that the test would get harder. And that night, when Heart of Gold was asleep, the Spirit removed all of his riches from his palace, from his garden, from his lands. And all he left in the palace garden was a rope and a rake. And when Heart of Gold woke up, he walked out wearing his nightshirt, the only clothing he had. He looked around and all of his riches were gone. All he could see was the rope and the rake. And he picked these things up and he headed off into the field and he began to work with the rope and with the rake. And as he worked and he began to grow vegetables, he took those vegetables and he gave them to the poor and the weak and the vulnerable. Now the Great Spirit saw this and came down and said to Heart of Gold, "Are you a fool? Why do you give away all of these things when you have nothing? Surely it makes more sense to work and save and build your riches again before you give them away." But Heart of Gold shook his head. He said, "The weak and the poor and the vulnerable, they can't wait for me to get rich. If somebody needs my help today, it is my duty to give it to them now." And with that, the Great Spirit realized that Heart of Gold truly did have a heart of gold. And deep in his heart was a sense of giving and kindness like the Spirit had never seen before. But the Spirit asked, why do you give like this? Why are you so kind that you put others before yourself? And again, Heart of Gold shook his head and said, I do not give kindness to put others before me. Others need kindness, and I need to give kindness too. For the reward that I get from giving is greater than any gold that I could have. And with that, the Great Spirit knew that Heart of Gold was truly special. And the Great Spirit returned all of Heart of Gold's possessions. And Heart of Gold went on just as before, helping the poor and the vulnerable. Lovely little story, Heart of Gold, with a great message as well. And that story came to me recently when I've been doing a lot of reading and listening and watching about something called the kindness economy. And Weeby Kids is part of the kindness economy. Everything that you see on the Weeby Kids website is free for you and for your family to enjoy to boost your well-being. And by putting that there, it is a gift from us to you, but it also gives you an opportunity to give that gift to others as well. So all we ask at Weeby Kids is that you keep the kindness economy going. Tell people about Weeby Kids, share a story, share an activity so that their family, just like yours, can get a boost to their well-being too. So thanks again for stopping by at Weeby Kids, and we hope to see you again sometime soon. Bye!